Okay, so this is what I had to do to get the ice out of my refrigerator. So we have this Samsung 4-door refrigerator. Just like everybody else, we have all the problems that come with it because it's a bad design. So this ice maker freezes up all the time, probably once a week or once every other week. Here is the model number. This is rf25hmedbsr. And all these models are slightly different in the way you take all this apart. So I wanted to show how mine came apart. So we take this apart quite often, the ice maker, and put the hair dryer to it like this and melt all the ice. Here, let me. And we even found a way to just sort of put it in this and leave it sitting by itself. So after about 15 minutes, all the ice is melted. But now ice was coming out of all of these little holes. There's 6 of these holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the back of the refrigerator. So the first thing you're going to do is take all the shelves out. And most of them just lift up. This one tilts up. Most of them just lift up and you pull them out. This one was, the bottom one was really complicated. You have to put a screwdriver on this little tab here and on the other side to pop it out. So you take your drawers out, and after you take your drawers out, you just put screwdrivers there, and then it pops up. And then you can take that big shelf out. Okay, then you have to take this off, and this has all these screws on it. So the first screw, it's underneath this little, there's a little cover there, like this. You have to take this little cover off, like this, and there's a screw behind it. You take that screw off, and there's 3 more screws on the bottom here. 1, 2, 3. There are 4 screws. 2 are long, 2 are short. The short ones are going to go back on this end and that end, and the long ones go in the middle, right there and there. Once you take these screws off, there's another piece that comes out here. That's this piece. Take that out. Okay. So then, this is going to be iced on there, and we waited like 15 hours. I took most of this apart last night. This wasn't off yet. Took the shelves out, unplugged the refrigerator, and gave it all night for the ice to melt. Just put those tea towels down there and collected the water. It's ridiculous. So then after all night, this looked like it could come off. Took the screws out, popped this off, and it's popped in with these little tabs. There's like 3 of these tabs on each side, 3 or 4, and they go into these little slider things there. So when I put it back together, you got to match the tabs up and pop it in. Okay, after I took that off, this had tons of ice all over the hell of the place, and tons of ice down here. So the first thing you got to do is get the hair dryer to it and get all the ice off. Then everybody's model is slightly different. One guy said he has little tabs on the side to pop this thing off. I have a tab up here, and that's where this thing, goes on there somehow. I don't exactly remember how I pulled it off. To be honest, I'm going to be struggling to get it back together. But some people unplug this whole thing, and this is the fan. Sometimes it has ice all over it. This often has ice all over it. You cannot pull this off before all the ice is melted because this piece of styrofoam, I saw in one person's video, can stick to this. And it's not supposed to be on that. It's supposed to be on this cover. So you have to wait till you have enough ice melted to pull this thing off. Okay, then you get all this ice melted. And I'm not going to unplug those things because there doesn't seem to be a real reason to, unless you're a refrigerator repairman and want to put voltage up in there, voltage meter, to make sure you're getting voltage to the fan. One video has a refrigerator repairman doing that, and I don't really want to pay for a refrigerator repairman if I don't have to, because this is likely to happen again. So I thought, well, I'll take this time while we are doing this self-isolation thing because of the coronavirus to figure out how to do this myself. Okay, so after I pop this off, this is the drain, and that fits up in there. And the drain is back there. It's that little hole, and that hole, look, that's all the bigger that hole is. That hole was encrusted with ice. So you take hot water from the microwave, and not too hot because you don't want to melt the plastic, just not boiling, kind of warm water. And you pour it on that, and I did it 3 times before suddenly it went ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-conk, ka-conk, and all the water ran down, and you can hear the water running down into that little hole. And that is the drain for when this works right. Water drains down into there. And how it does is, from all the videos I watched, apparently this black line is a heater. And this thing actually heats up to melt. It's called the defrost cycle, and it automatically defrosts itself when it knows there's too much ice building up here. And then when the ice builds up on this thing, because of humidity in the air, this heater will turn on. Apparently sometimes the water gets stuck in this little hole, or why it doesn't work right, I don't know. But one refrigerator repairman said this little clip, and I've seen everybody else's videos, it was there. And he said it needs to be up here. This little clip has a sensor on it. And that sensor will turn on more often. It'll turn the defroster on more often if it's up there, he said. So we want the defroster to turn on so that it doesn't get so much ice that it's all packed off and coming out of these holes. And then the fan stops working because it's packed off with ice. But so now I'm going to put all this back together and hope I don't have to do this again for a while. But so happy to have other people who have done this before me, so I could watch about 10 different YouTube videos and figure it all out, because everybody's models are different. Good luck.